Hello everyone, welcome to the Geekdom, the place where we outcast come to talk about the things we love, and today we're switching things up a little bit. We're talking about The Flash. Now we've been doing a lot of DC content recently, and I thought, hey, let's branch out. We did a ranking of the Bat family recently, and I had such good fun doing that, and you guys seem to enjoy it, so today we're doing The Flash family. One of my favorite groups of superheroes. Speedsters have always been my absolute favorites. Wally West is one of my all-time favorite superheroes. So let's jump right in. Today, something a little bit different. There is a tremendous amount of speedsters out there, so I had to refine my list. I've only gone for like the main group, okay? So there's only 8 of them on this list, and if I do miss out on any, you do let me know. And these are only the good guys. Okay, there's no Reverse Flash, there's no Zoom, there's none of that on this list. So we're only going with the good guys. And at number 8, we have Avery Ho. Now, a few of you might like Avery Ho. She's quite a cool character. I mean, she first appeared during the Lightning Strikes Twice arc, The Flash Rebirth Volume 1, in which we saw Godspeed create a Speed Force Storm. Did he create it? I can't remember. There was a Speed Force Storm, though, and Avery Ho got her powers through that. Now, she is on the Justice League of China, going by The Flash, which is pretty cool. You know, she's got her own Justice League. She represents the more international element of the Speedsters, which I think is really cool. She's got a lovely costume, and she's had some really cool stories as well. Recently, she had a, what was it called? Was it just called Speedsters? Speed Force something? She had a run recently with Wallace West, and hey, it was pretty cool. I like Avery Ho. Next on this list, we have Jessie Quick, aka Jessie Chambers. Now, Jessie Quick is quite an interesting character for me, purely because I don't actually read a great deal of her. And the reason I know Jessie Quick the most is because of the CW Flash TV show, which was kind of like my main introduction to my love for DC besides anything Bat family. So she was a pretty interesting character in that. And then I went ahead and I read a few of her comics, and she's pretty cool. She's got a decent power set. Obviously, she's got some elements of super strength as well as her super speed. She's got some great costumes. She's got great sort of chemistry with the other characters. I just prefer the others. Like, I don't go to my comic book store every month and go, oh my god, I super hope we see Jessie Quick this month. No, I think she's cool, but hey, there's better. Next up, we have the Zen Master of Speed, Max Mercury. Now, I always found the concept of Max Mercury to be quite interesting because he's a character who experimented with the Speed Force and got himself displaced in time because of it. My only issue is his outfit, and I know that seems rather stupid to have like an issue with a character's costume, but I don't know, it's a big part. Comic books are a visual medium. So if I'm reading a comic book and I see a guy with L drip, I want to read it less. Like when I saw Wally West's new costume, I didn't like it very much. It's grown on me a little bit. I just hate the wings on the ears, and it put me off from reading it for a while. So it has a big impact, and I don't particularly like the Max Mercury suit. Something cool about Max Mercury, though, is he is our first confirmed speedster in James Gunn's DCU, which is awesome. He was spotted on the mural in the Justice Gang's headquarters, aka the Hall of Justice, which is super exciting. I'm super, super pleased we've already got speedsters in the DCU. Next up, we have a character who I've just never quite gelled with. But the reason he's so high on this list is because he's had a really heavy presence in comics. I know there is a fan base of him out there. He gets a lot of exposure. And this would be Wallace West, Ace. The sort of second iteration of Kid Flash besides Impulse. And I have a bit of a love-hate relationship. Now, spoilers, Wally West is high on this list. I love Wally. And when Rebirth happened and they were like, hey, so he doesn't exist anymore. We've got this other guy. And then everyone went, that's rubbish. We don't want that. So they went, ooh, kidding. He's a cousin and nobody remembers him, but he comes back and everyone remembers him. And don't get me wrong. The Wally coming back and by remembering him, premium comic book. I cried on a bus. I was reading it on a bus for the first time. Genuine tears. It was, it's a beautiful comic book. But that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that we have a Wally West. We have a great Kid Flash. Did we need another? No. But he was in Legends. He was in the CW's Flash TV series. He's got a rather large fan base. And I think the Speed Force comic, whatever it was called, the one with Avery Ho, I think it did quite well. And Wallace as a character, he got a fair bit of traction, but I could not put him any higher than 5th on this list. At number 4, we're getting into the GOATs now, okay? At number 4, we've got Bart Allen, aka Impulse, aka Kid Flash. I've got to say, I used to have a real difficulty with Impulse because he was so impulsive. I struggled with this character. He's felt relatively immature, specifically in Young Justice. There's a lot of issues that I've read. Obviously, he presents himself really well in some of those issues as well, but there's a couple of issues where I've read where I'm like, Tim Drake and Con, there's like a level of maturity, and then, I don't know. I also found him irritating with the whole future stuff. But then I actually locked in. I read a bit more. I loved his stint as Kid Flash. That was great. I love him in Young Justice. It's a brilliant character in Young Justice. I love it. I think Impulse is a really, really cool character, and I hope we get to see him in the DCU. That would be awesome. Okay, top three. Top three time. I think this is where I'm going to start getting a little bit of flack. At number 3, we have Barry Allen. Now, I know you're all going to be like, no, we like Barry Allen. What's he doing so far down? He's great, okay? I love him. My difficulty is his representations more than anything. Oh, just clinked a glass. My difficulty is his representations. Let's take the 2 major adaptations of Barry Allen we've had in recent years. The CW, and in the CW, we had Grant Gustin, who was fantastic, by the way. Absolutely loved him. But it wasn't Barry. He essentially had Wally West's personality with Barry's life. It was a bit of a strange mix. And I didn't really like that. Well, I loved that show, but I think it wasn't necessarily Barry. And then we also have Ezra Miller. And I only have to say the name for you to understand what I'm talking about, but let's dive in. I mean, he had a movie. Terrible. You know a movie's bad when the best part of a Flash movie is Batman. Not that Batman makes stuff bad, I just mean like, when you would want the titular character to be the best character in the movie. Like you see Blue Beetle, and Blue Beetle is the best character in that movie. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's had some weird representations. It's clear that the fan base loves Wally West. I mean, when you think of the Flash, the first things that pop into your head are the CW, Ezra Miller, and then Justice League Unlimited, in which it was Wally West. I like Barry. I hope they do a more accurate portrayal, and maybe he'll bump up higher on this list. But at number 2, my GOAT, Jay Garrick, the Golden Age Flash. I love Jay. I think Jay has always been a personal favourite of mine. He might not be as fast as the others, but he's still a really awesome character. Also, I think his drip is unbelievable. I mean, the kettle hat is fantastic with the wings. I think it's just brilliant. When they brought that out in Lego form, I was beyond excited. It was so great. I was so pleased. So I have him in my collection somewhere. I don't know where he is, but I have Jay Garrick somewhere. I think his costume's fantastic. I like that he's an older superhero. I love his ties to the Justice Society, and I think he's a really great mentor for the rest of the Flash family. But that leaves number 1, and there's only one candidate for number 1. I mean, it was pretty obvious, wasn't it? It's going to be Wally West, Kid Flash OG. I cannot put into words how much I love this character. For me, he is second best DC character. I mean, his first best is Nightwing, who's his best friend. It's such a good duo. I love Wally. I love every iteration. I love... My favourite Flash suit of all time is the original Wally West Kid Flash suit. I think the best version of that is either the Rebirth art or the World's Finest Teen Titans art, which I really love. As once again, he's a member of the Teen Titans, which obviously bumps him up even higher for me. When he was brought back, well, after Barry died, he became the Flash, the main Flash, which everyone loved. And then reality-altering shenanigans, and then Barry's back as the Flash, and he's Flash as well, but he's got the silver and red, and it's like... yes! And then he had the Mobius chair, and he was even more overpowered, and he just became the most overpowered character of all time. But I love him. What a great character. Well, everyone, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have, feel free to like and subscribe down below. I'm really enjoying doing these ranking videos. If you have any other like super families you want me to do, for example, Superman, very popular at the minute, or for example, maybe the Green Lanterns. You want me to rank the Green Lanterns of Earth or anything like that? I am so down for any of that. You just let me know in the comments. I'd love to make those videos for you. One last little bit of spiel. We are on something like 1,630 subs or something like that, which is just mind-blowing. And we're in the process right now of getting us registered to have members and being able to post the Geekdom clothing merch on the actual channel, which is really crazy. We're on the road to 4,000 hours of watch time, which is makes the channel eligible for monetization, which would be amazing. So we're really close. If you could just support the channel a little bit more, that would be amazing. You've all done so much so far, and I'm really, really grateful. I do love you all. Well, everyone, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.